Hello. Is this thing on? How is the audio? Good afternoon, my friends. I'm gonna turn down the volume a bit. There we go. So hopefully I'm not blowing away you guys with the audio here. Love to see who's tuning in here. I see people are hopping on. Please let me know where you're watching from, where you're tuning in from. I would love to know. And also, please, if you guys are watching, let me know how the audio is. I'm trying this with a microphone again because it is crazy windy here in Guanacaste. All of the palms have like a permanent lean right now. All the leaves are facing in one direction. So I'm just gonna wait a few minutes here for people to hop on. Again, if you guys could do me a favor and just let me know how the audio is. I'm not seeing anything popping up here yet, so I'm not sure who's watching. For some reason I can't see today. So maybe I won't be able to even read your comments. Doing this today on my iPhone. It is Sunday afternoon here at Rythmia. We have a big turnover of guests once again. We just had an amazing week last week with Pada Shakti. There we go. Kimberly is saying, Kimberly's watching from Dania Beach, Florida. Brittany says the audio is good. Awesome! So yeah, I was just saying we had a great week last week with our dear friend Pada Shakti, who is the creator of the Dance of Liberation. So if you know much about Rythmia, if you've been here in the last year, you know that we've been teaching on Friday afternoons a blindfolded shamanic dance. So we would do that every week here at Rythmia, and last week we had the creator of that dance, Pada Shakti, here as our guest speaker. So we did a lot of workshops around movement, and also Felicia Tomasco, who is a really amazing yoga teacher and teacher of Ayurveda. She was also here. So they weaved and connected Ayurvedic teachings with the shamanic dance, and it was a really beautiful week. Wendy is watching from Santa Barbara. Sadia is saying hello. Marty, Elliot said audio is good. Perfect. Thank you so much, you guys. So when I picked this topic, which I called PlantBased Pantry, about a month ago, I didn't realize that today I was going to not have my trusty cameraman. I forgot at last minute I didn't forget, but I didn't know, but at last minute Kenneth needed the day off. So it works out well because I'm not actually going to be doing much cooking today. I'm going to be talking a bit about some ingredients because I have a lot of people always asking me, especially guests here at Rythmia, asking me when they leave here how they can continue to eat the way that they ate here at Rythmia at home. Brian is saying he's watching from Chapin, South Carolina. He's coming March 7th. Romana is saying, hey Meg, have fun. Yeah, if you're on your way here at some point in the next year, let me know when you're going to be here. I'd love to know. Sadia is saying, I had a great week at Rythmia last week. We loved having you. So good to see you here live on Facebook. Anyways, yes, what I was saying is a lot of people are always asking me how to bring Rythmia miracle meals home. And there are a few ways to do it. The first way is, and I haven't, whoops, just got my microphone in the cable of my microphone fell into my coconut water glass. This is two ways that you can bring the recipes home. Pardon me that it is backwards, but I have my iPhone turned around. Two different cookbooks here that I've written over the last 4 years here at Rythmia. This one here, the original miracle meals we wrote in 2017. This is available at our gift shop in hard copy form and also available on Amazon. Forward written by Jerry here. Who dat shaved head. Look at how long my hair is. It's crazy. I decided I'm going to try to grow my hair. But this book has 103 pages of recipes, and these were the most requested recipes as of May 2017, I believe. Not a whole lot has changed on the menu since then, but I've had a lot of people requesting for dessert and dressing recipes. So we created this one last year, Miracle Meals 2.0 Sauces and Sweets. So this here cookbook has just all of the most requested sauces, including the miracle sauce and the cookies, the gluten-free cookies, the chocolate chip, the peanut butter, all of the recipes for the desserts, and the sauces and the sweets. So those are all available here. So these are available to help people bring the Rythmia food home. But I also wanted to go over some things to have on hand to make these recipes, but also some ingredients to keep on hand to help you post Rythmia, but also ingredients that if you're planning to come here or if you just want to explore a more plant-based diet. I'm going to talk about what I like to keep in my pantry at home, and you will be surprised to see that a lot of it does come from packages because we need to keep our life easy. A lot of this stuff that I'm going to show you could make yourself and start from scratch, but I'm all about shortcuts in the kitchen, especially when it comes to certain ingredients, and when you're trying to follow a plant-based diet, there's already a lot of overwhelm involved, so I want to make this as easy as possible. So people have been asking for this. So while I'm not 100% vegan, and I don't claim to be, haven't been for a long time, and I don't think it's necessary for any of us to go that way if we don't want to, I'm going to talk primarily about vegan plant-based ingredients today. And if you ever are looking and thinking about exploring that type of diet, if you're not really, you know, you don't have a lot of in-depth knowledge or haven't studied, you know, nutrition, it can be really difficult to have a really balanced diet if you don't know what you're doing. So I want to just preempt this whole Facebook Live by saying there are a couple of things that I would like to suggest you include in your diet, and that would be B12 is always a really good one. Because B12 is typically something we get from animal products. It comes from the soil typically, and the animals eat the grass from the soil and then is produced in the animal byproducts that we consume as humans. But you can also make sure you have a supplement. I always take one. I'm not vegan, but I still take one every single day because I feel like you can never, you know, your body typically spits out excess that it doesn't need. I have these chewable tablets. I just take them every morning as an insurance policy. I'm also postpartum, so I'm taking a lot of vitamins to just rebuild after that. So I would suggest that you get your hand on a B12 supplement, as well as keeping in mind and some other ingredients that are super important. Here I have seaweed. Probably can't see it here. I'm going to show you like this. So this is dried seaweed, and seaweed is a super important ingredient in the vegan diet because it gives it a lot of nice savory umami flavor, but it also can be a great ingredient to a great source of iodine, which is important for our thyroid. And typically also comes from a lot of plant, animal-based foods. So making sure you get iodine in your diet, you could use a supplement or, you know, include a lot of seaweed in your diet. So I've just gone and soaked this seaweed in water. I'm going to show you it's going to plump up into something delicious that you can top on just throw onto salads and things like that. Omega-3 fats also super important. So something like a hemp seed is a great source. Hemp seed, chia seeds. I always use these because they're also a great protein source. This particular one here says for 1 tablespoon, it is 4 grams of protein. So great source of plant-based protein, good fats, and omega-3 fatty acids. So hemp seeds are really important to keep handy. If you don't have an allergy, you can buy hemp seed milks these days. Really delicious plant-based milk alternative. What are some other things? Probiotics, important if you're not having cow's milk, yogurt, or anything like that. So sauerkraut, this is a fermented cabbage that we make here at Rythmia. Really great to have a jar of sauerkraut or kimchi in your fridge at home. All right, so what do we want to talk about here today? Let's talk life is short, eat dessert first. Let's talk about my favorite sweets. Dates. So dates are the main ingredient in a lot of my dessert recipes and energy balls. I substitute raisins an awful lot here in Costa Rica because it's just more cost effective. But dates are really great. You can puree this with a little bit of water to make a date paste, which is good a substitute for liquid sweeteners. I like to use whole dates in like pie crusts or cookie dough balls and things like that. I eat a lot of dates fresh out of the hand. They're a really great energy boost. You know, mid-afternoon when I'm on the run, I just grab a few dates, pop them in my mouth. I like medjool dates for that purpose more than these particular ones, but these are a great source of fiber also. Another favorite source of delicious sweetness, Mother Nature's delicious treat. I cannot take credit for this recipe here with me. We always have jars of dried fruit out. This is papaya and pineapple. I mean, it doesn't get any sweeter and delicious than that. I'm gonna eat this whole bowl once I'm done being live here. I won't eat it now because it'll be caught in my teeth and I'll be like, because it's super dry. Great sweets. If I'm gonna talk about liquid sweeteners, I would say have maple syrup on hand. Very expensive here in Costa Rica, so I don't use it in the restaurant here, but you can use agave or you can use honey if you're not going fully plant-based or fully vegan. Brown rice syrup in a pinch. I've used brown rice syrup in some vegan recipes because it works well for things like a vegan Rice Krispie squares. Kind of not the best kind of sugar that you want, but pick your favorite. All sweeteners are plant-based, so don't be too stressed about it. And my other favorite sweet, cookie dough balls. So these are a cashew-based ball with chocolate that we serve here at Rythmia. It's in the Sauces and Sweet cookbook, my favorite thing in the world. I grabbed 3. I'm also going to eat those after we're done being live here today. So those are my favorite sweets. So some very specific substitutions that you need when you're following a vegan diet is substitutions for eggs. So there are a few different things you can use. I've talked about this in a few Facebook Lives recently, and that's Aquafaba. So this here is just the liquid. You don't need to see it. It's just the liquid from a can of chickpeas. So you buy your chickpeas in a can, you drain off the liquid. Drain. I want you to keep that because it's a really good substitute for eggs, and you can make things like meringues. Saying hi to Maru, one of our staff members over there having lunch. You can make things like meringues out of Aquafaba. Last week, I think it was, I used them, what did I do? I was whisking them up for the ingredient in what was I making last week? I made, for the waffles maybe it was, or the I don't remember what I used it for. Hi, Gerda and Margaret. Hello, Pamela. So yeah, Aquafaba, really great. You can Google Aquafaba recipes and you'll be amazed by the great uses for it instead of using egg white. Or just use egg white. I made muffins the other day and I just use eggs. Or you can substitute other things like ground flaxseed or chia seed. So 1 tablespoon of ground flax mixed with like 3 tablespoons of water. You let it sit, it kind of gelatinizes and it becomes the texture of an egg white, and that's a really great ingredient and binding agent for recipes. It's going to help hold things together really well, and it works as a really great egg substitute. Chia seeds the same. You could use whole or ground chia seeds. Another great way, if you're just looking for extra added moisture in like a muffin recipe or something, you can substitute applesauce. So I've just bought this applesauce. It's unsweetened. I'll use it in muffin recipes. I'll also use it to give to my baby in a pinch. Once she starts eating apples, we haven't made it to apples yet because we're introducing new foods. And just a banana mashed is also a really great way to add in some. I don't know where I'm looking. If you think I'm like, do I look at the camera? What am I looking at the comments? Mashed up banana. Really, really great ingredient for adding moisture to baked goods also. All right, what's next, my friends? Fat. So we're not gonna be using dairy fats if we're going plant-based. I mean, still, I use ghee all the time, and butter ain't no thing. But if you don't want to, there's tons of plant-based versions. This is a probiotic butter made from plants. Let's see, it's okay for freezing. So I managed to find this in my grocery store here. And I bought it because it's a great ingredient for me making vegan cupcake icing, because I do a lot of birthday cupcakes and stuff here at Rythmia when people have birthdays, and a lot of people that come are vegan. So this is a great source for making a quick in a pinch. So it's a mix of different oils. It's coconut, palm, sunflower seed, flax. So yeah, plant-based butters, really, really great. You can't see it, but in here I've got coconut oil that's been melted down. Coconut oil is a really great fat to use for cooking as well as in baking. Simple fat, you could substitute like a mayonnaise for using like avocado on your sandwich. Just mash your avocado. I do it all the time on our burgers at home. Really, 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 really delicious. Other great fats that are also good sources of protein and things like that. Tahini, so this is just 100% pure ground sesame seed paste. Non-GMO, vegan, good times. Just ground sesame seeds. And almond butter. So this is just a classic almond spread. This one here has dry roasted almonds and a bit of shea oil in it. Delicious. Gotta have the almond butter. You can make your own. You can buy your favorite brand. There's tons out there. Just really great source of energy and good fats and sustenance. If you're eating a lot of plant-only meals, you need to have that grounding. Katie says, do you know that palm oil destroys heaps of forests and kills heaps of animals? Yes, I do know that, Katie, and I know that a lot of other things in the world have negative impacts, and I know that a lot of the good things that we're doing also have negative impact. And right now we're talking about making life easy in the kitchen. Thank you. Okay, so what else are we going to talk about? Flavor. So there's tons of different ways you can add really great depth of flavor into your recipes. Vinegar is really important to have. I don't need to show you. We got apple cider vinegar here on the list, as well as balsamic, and a miso paste. So this is a dark miso paste. You can buy a light miso paste. This is just, it's a fermented soybean product, so it's also good for the gut, but adds heaps and heaps of flavor. Almost like any recipe that I find that you use mushroom and miso, it's so meaty, you don't even miss, having an animal protein in the dish. Really, really delicious. Other great flavor makers, things like nutritional yeast. So this is powdered nutritional flakes. You can see the texture here. I use this in a tons of recipes as just giving a little bit of a cheesy flavor. Some of the brands, this one also in particular is a rich source of vitamin B12. So that is really great to have on hand. And then you can even go so far as to buy, and I buy things like this when I'm in North America just to test and try. We've made a version of this on Facebook here. Back in one of the queso videos we did months ago, we made our own vegan Parmesan. You can buy them. This one is from a chain that I picked this up in London, Ontario. This is a vegan Parmesan made of sunflower seeds. There's also nutritional yeast in here, garlic powder, flax seeds. Really, really good. I sprinkle this on my salads at home. Delicious. So we're talking about pantry goods. What else is really good to have on hand is pesto. I always have a couple bottles of this on hand. We spread it. I put pesto always on my grilled cheese, and We use vegan grilled cheese sometimes at home, regular cheese sometimes at home, but pesto is really good. Sometimes I mix it with tomato sauce on pasta just to give it a bit more richness, and I like the little extra bit of weightiness the fat from the pesto gives. So good to have pesto on hand. It's also good to just dip your vegetables in. Again, you could also make your pesto from scratch. We've got tons of videos on here back in the archives with many different versions of pesto. Having a few good soups on hand. I always have 2 or 3 of these, especially since having my baby makes for really quick dinners. Have a bowl of high protein. This one has 7 grams of protein. It's lentil vegetable. Having a bowl of this in a grilled cheese sandwich makes for a really delicious, comforting dinner. I also like to make sure I always have some broth on hand. So this is a vegan vegetable broth. It's organic. You can buy it in a can. You can buy it however you want to. You can make your own, obviously, and freeze it and keep it on hand that way. But I always have one of these just in case I want to make a soup, or I need something for, like if you're doing plant-based stuff, you want to, if you want to keep it low fat. Some people want to do that. You can just saute vegetables in a broth, and it helps bring a lot of flavor and helps the vegetables from sticking. All right. Another couple things I always keep on hand, and this is just an example, sliced up veggies. So these are just raw broccoli florets. Keep those in the fridge, keep them handy. You can toss these into stir fries, into salads. You can dip them into the pesto. Really, really good. Hi, Lisa. So good to see you. Mixed greens. Always like to have a bunch of mixed greens. Sorry, I just had a message coming in on WhatsApp from a guest here at Rythmia that I wanted to have a gander at. If you just saw me going, woo. Mixed greens, have on hand a bunch of different ones. My favorite is always arugula. I love arugula as a base of a salad. I also like stirring arugula into like pasta sauces. I love the pepperiness. Delicious. What are some other staples? Always like to have many, many different grains. So I've got some cooked quinoa. So make sure you have, jars or packages of quinoa in the fridge because it cooks up really, really quick. And then any leftovers you have, good in the fridge for a few days. I'd also throw them into freezer storage bags and freeze them. So I always have some sort of grain. Right now I think I have cooked buckwheat groats in my freezer, but also brown rice, good to have always. Many different kinds of beans. You can use them, you can buy them in a bag and cook them yourself, or canned. Again, they also freeze really well. So leftover cooked black beans you could freeze, and they'd be great to defrost and puree into a black bean sauce, add into soups or chilies. Really, really yummy. Make black bean burgers from. Hi, Renee! I love the Rythmia Quinoa. Renee, we love you. So good for you to join us. Things like hummus. Have your favorite hummus always on hand. I rely on this heavily. Hummus on rice cakes, hummus with carrot sticks, hummus on sandwiches, hummus on burgers, hummus all the things. Great little bit of protein in here, and a lot of good fat and deliciousness. So that's a good thing to have. And then things like preparing, I've done whole things here on meal prep, but I always have tons of roasted vegetables in my refrigerator. So these are sweet potato fries I made over the weekend that I will keep and throw these onto salads, mash them into a soup that I'm making for a little bit more sustenance. And have your favorite, I bought these the other day just for fun. These are plant-based sausages. Again, they would freeze really well also, so good to keep on hand. Again, more sweet potato, this time baked, so usable in different ways. You can mash those. These are plantains, so these were I would make these in bulk, so these are double fried plantains. I've done this before on Facebook. Grains that are gluten-free. I have celiac disease and I get confused. First and foremost, the quinoa and the rice, Lisa, are gluten-free, and those are easy ones to find. You can find them anywhere in the world. Stick with those and you're going to be fine. I believe amaranth is gluten-free. Buckwheat, counterintuitively, is gluten-free. Chickpea flours, gluten-free. There's tons of different ones out there. I've done I think about a month or two ago, I did a whole Facebook Live about grains. So Lisa, go back to that one. I think it was probably November. I did a whole thing about grains and I talked about a bunch of them. So go check that out and give you lots of information. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about breakfast. So have a few, in a pinch, when I was home postpartum with my baby, the only thing I had time to make in the morning was cereal. So I picked up this one that is, they call it Power-O's. It's made with beans. 6 grams of protein per serving. Get your protein in the morning. So I would have a bowl of that and whatever kind of milk you want. You can buy, oat milk has become a big thing. I think we did it here on Facebook Live not too long ago. You can buy fun flavored ones. This is a chocolate hazelnut. buy yourself, you know, coconut milk. Find a good brand of coconut milk you like. This is really good for a ton of recipes, baking, and also I like to put this particular one in my coffee. We already talked about vegan cheeses and things like that. So there's, I mean, down here in Costa Rica, there's not a lot of availability for vegan alternatives to dairy and things like that, but there's, you can make so many of them yourself. You've probably been watching for a while, you've seen we've done a lot of vegan cheeses here on Facebook, but just be soft with yourself and don't try to do it all. If you want to start trying to eat this way a little bit. Oh, tofu, I didn't even mention tofu. So weirdly here in Costa Rica, our firm tofu comes in a can. So strange. And then you can buy silken tofu in a package like this. But these types of foods, like a lot of this stuff, like this cereal and things like that, and the sausages, these are, I like to call them transition foods. They're really helpful when you are new to this way of eating. They can make it seem less daunting. So I'm 100% supportive of you guys doing that at home, especially if you're just starting out like this. All right, my friends, this is all she wrote for today. I can't remember what I'm doing next week. I think I might have been planning to talk about plant-based protein, but I think I might switch that up and do some cooking because I want to cook for you guys. So I hope you guys are having a beautiful sunny Sunday. And if this is helpful to anyone that you know, please share it. And know that if you've been to Rythmia and are joining or are planning to be here, this is going to be, I'm going to have a little bit of a cooking series with some of this information and some expansion on it available in the Our Life Aftercare package very soon. That's going to be launching. Super excited. All right, guys, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your sunny Sunday or snowy Sunday, wherever you are, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.